Hello, and welcome to the Metro MLS webinar review of the General Preferences screen in Flex MLS. In this webinar, we'll review the settings in General Preferences and match them up to what they do on in the Flex MLS. So let's begin. So to access General Preferences, click on Menu, and then underneath Preferences section, click on General Preferences. So general preferences are settings to where you can adjust your some of the settings in Flex MLS to like your preferences. Okay, so starting with this first section here, settings affecting search results. That's the search results screen. So I'm just going to switch between tabs here and just bring up a search. Oh, I can just do it easier this way. 207. There we go. All right. So the settings I'm about to reveal in that first section, apply to search results screen. All right, so coming back here, default font size. It's set at a 10, but if you like a bigger or a smaller font, you can choose that. Also, when you're on the screen here, they've got the settings that are here. You can adjust it right here if you'd like to, or also depending on what browser that you're using, you can also zoom it in your browser. So I'm using Google Chrome, so I click on the settings button for Chrome, and this zoom that you see right here, you can increase it or decrease it. Same thing with Firefox. Its button has 3 horizontal lines, but the zoom, as soon as you click it, you'll see the zoom. You can also adjust it easy that way. Okay, going back to preferences. These two pieces of information, public version and private version, is the default for full listing reports from search results. So when you're looking at the detail sheet here on search results, the detail sheet that you happen to be looking at, that means is it the public version or the private version? What you see here, this is the private version. Okay, so you probably want that version selected for yourself so you can see that information. Next is choose the default listing report. Full report additional photos is what I have selected here. So it's the full report with the business card here at the upper right hand side. The regular full report looks like this. So here you can choose whatever report it is that you typically like to see on that screen. All right. The next 4 options automatically choose which tab to select. Quick search, map search, or full search is my default tab when editing a search. So depending on how you're moving around the search results screen here, those 4 options apply to when you hit edit search. Okay, so here it took me into the quick search option. So this preference is basically saying, based on how you move around within Flex MLS, the system will choose what edit mode to take you into. So sometimes it'll take you into full, and you can always switch it right here. Sometimes it'll take you into map. If you like to always edit your searches using full search or the map search, you can always make that preference here, selected here. Okay. The next one, expand all fields for quick searches. That's this field over here. Expand all fields makes it look like this. So when you come into quick search, everything's already opened up for you. All right. Moving on down, Flex MLS email and print. Please choose a default configuration. So whenever you go into the print or email buttons here from search results screen, what version did you want set? Private or public? So this is where you can tell it always have that version for me selected. Okay, this checkbox prompt me to choose interactive or printer-friendly version when emailing. I think a lot of you get that. If you want to get it, you can just put the check there. If whenever you hit email, you just want to go directly to interactive version, you can take that check out. That saves you a click. Okay. Moving next, email. Please choose the default email type. HTML or text. So whenever you go into email here, I've got the text version selected by default. Text does not have a lot of code in the background on it, so it's they're received at a higher level, higher degree. They're not seen as spam as much as the HTML. HTML has a lot of code behind it, but you can change the font, the color, the background, add stationary tables, all that good stuff here, which the HTML. All right, so that's what this preference is for. If you want that defaulted to text or HTML, you can always manually switch it in that screen. And then your default email signature to check. That was the little signature down here at the bottom. All right, next, this section is not turned on for us, so we'll keep going. Next is the MLS Dashboard. Listings to expired sold listings range. So I'm going to come back here and I'm just going to refresh my screen using this. So that setting is applied to this little gadget right here, the My Listings gadget. So if you use the Home dashboard, it's located right here. If you use the Classic dashboard, that's what it looks like right here. And the MLS dashboard is this one right here. So it's the My Listings gadget. All right. So here, show listings that will expire in 7 days is the default, but you can change that to whatever number that you like. So show listings that will expire in X amount of days under listings to expire. So this is saying if you have any listings that are going to expire within whatever how many days of the expiration date, you'd like it to show here, so you can easily click on it and address it if you'd like to. Next, show listings that were sold in the past 30 days, and 30 is the default, under sold listings. That's this right here. So once a listing is sold, whether you're on the listing side or the selling side, it will show there and it will stay for 30 days until it ages off. You can change that if you'd like to. The next section applies to My Listings. So when you click on the menu button and you go to My Listings, there it is right there. Those are your listings. So My Listings, what statuses should be included? Select the statuses that you'd like to see when you go into My Listings, okay? Anything that's off market, which is expired, sold, or withdrawn. So off market listings older than this many days will not appear on My Listings screen. So the default is 30. You can change that number. So if you have any listings that are in an off market status, how long do you want to keep them there? So you just set the days for that. Next is the expiring listing notification. If you'd like to get an email when you have a listing that's about to expire, you can. That's what the expiring listing notification is for. Send email notification of expiring listings once per day for 7 days before the expiration date. So that means that you will get an email on the 7th day before it expires, but you'll get on the 6th day, the 5th day, the 4th day. If you don't extend the listing out or expire it out, you'll keep getting that email notification. You can change that. So if you change it for any days that's more than 7, let's say you do 14, your options change. So now send an email notification of expiring listings 14 days, or if it's anything that's over 7, you'll get this. 14 days before the expiration date, and once per day for each of the 7 days preceding the expiration date. So I would get an email on that 14th day. If I didn't do anything with that listing, then once it's 7 days from it expiring, then I'll keep getting an email until it expires out. Unless on the 14th day, somewhere between there and the 7th day, I've extended it out, then I won't get those other emails. Next is messaging. Enable email notifications for messages sent only to me. This applies to any messages sent to you from an agent or a customer using the contact functions within FlexMLS. So you want to keep that selected. Messaging notifications, suspend all portal login notice messages. When a contact logs into a portal, if you don't have this selected, you'll get an email saying, so-and-so has logged into their portal, and that can get annoying maybe. So if you don't want to get those login notices, you just put a check in there. You can always see when they do log in just by going into contact management, and then you can see it on their file here right there. So if you want to check it, you can always keep it checked there. All right. We don't send out bulk emails, so you can ignore that. And then lastly, in contact management, default for enable reverse prospecting checkbox on add contact. What that is when you create a contact in the system, this box right here is selected by default. So that means that enables reverse prospecting on your contact, meaning that you will get notices from listing agents saying, you know, hey, I've got a listing, you've got a customer that possibly matches this listing. If you want this selected by default, over here on General Preferences, you can set that to yes. If you don't, and you just want to pick and choose who you turn it on for, you can set that to no. That way that checkbox will not be selected when you create a contact. Okay? Any changes you made in this screen, you hit save, and it will update your preferences in FlexMLS. This will conclude our webinar for General Preferences in FlexMLS.